everybody on Wiglax Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, I'm continuing my quest for the northern border. Hey, guy. You know, with the occasional stops here and there. But, for the most part, I just want to... Oof, look at this lake. This is a huge lake. I'm definitely gonna have to drive around this thing. Well, that road turned almost all the way around. That's crazy. Does it not turn back to the north? There's like a crazy road coming up here, though. We're gonna have to check out. Just finished losing another game of Frostpunk. I tell you what, I completed A New Home, which is the first... Oh, I want the road. Oh, man. Do I want the weird road or the road that kind of goes more north? I have to go north, though, because that is my plan. Right? Sorry, weird road. Well, it looks like this road is turning back that direction. Well, it looks like it curves around the lake here, maybe. I don't know exactly what's going on with these roads. But, yeah, so A New Home is the first mission, and then the second mission is the Arcs, and then the third mission is Refugees. I cannot even get close to winning Refugees. I don't know what it is. It has the most workers, so you think I could get ahead, but I cannot seem to get ahead. I guess I don't quite understand the system. I've beaten all 3 missions on normal. I've beaten 2 to 3 missions on hard, and I don't think I understand the system. But yeah, keep trying though. Same thing with They Are Billions. I can't get anywhere on that one either. I don't know what trick I'm missing on They Are Billions. I thought I was doing awesome, and I just had tons of soldiers and walls and stuff like that, and spike traps, and then they just come up with a horde that's so large that your wall can't stop it, and I'm only like 40 days in out of 150 or something like that. So I don't understand the giant ramp up. Like, no horde before that was even close to that size. I've got 2 guard towers with snipers and gunners. I've got spiked walls, or spikes, and then I've got stone walls, and they come right through all of it like it's not even there. And yeah, it's I don't know. Ooh, look at that blue tent. You just stick right out like a sore thumb. I was admiring this city skyline over there. It's looking kind of cool. Let's go check out this blue tent. But yeah, so I well, it's not an impressive blue tent. Although I could take a sleeping bag here. That way I don't have to make one next time I stop someplace. But yeah, I keep trying on those games. I don't know. I really like Frostpunk so much. I know they said they were going to make a DLC for it, so I can't wait. I do have another story. It's not related to gaming though. So, I was we usually eat together as a family, and oh man, I wanted to see this city, and now it closed right down into Ash. I can't see anything. It's all ashed over. Alright, well, I guess we'll drive through. See what we can see here. I like there's a farm in the middle of the city. You got any roads going north? Ooh, there's a bear. Oh, I thought for a second there I was on the road going north. This is a pretty big place. So anyway, so I go upstairs. They call that it's dinner time, and so I go upstairs, and I I hate when they call me for dinner because they don't actually mean it's dinner time, or they mean they've already sat down and have started eating. One of those two things. It's never a happy medium. It's always like dinner will be ready in 10 minutes. So why did you call me? What am I supposed to do? Stand here and watch? I mean, we basically eat buffet style. So I'm gonna get my own plate and silverware anyways. I don't understand why you call me to dinner so early. And so, or late. That's the other. Or not call me at all. Sometimes they just forget that I exist. And so I get up there and we're having pancakes. And so we've been having a bit of an ant problem. And so apparently they went to get the pancake flour out, and it was full of tiny, tiny little ants. Just tiny, tiny little ants. And so they had to throw it out, so they made pancakes from scratch. And so I like peanut butter on my pancakes. And so I got out the peanut butter. Now, they didn't tell me that there was a problem with ants. And so I've got the jar of peanut butter, and no one else eats peanut butter on their pancakes. I don't know. It used to be that everybody put peanut butter on their pancakes. Now they've all stopped. Heck, the kids are weird. They don't even like syrup on their pancakes. They just like eat them dry half the time. I don't know. Those kids are... They don't like sweets. It's bizarre to me. Hey, road. So, I start to unscrew the top of the peanut butter. And I'm pretty aware of my surroundings. And so while I was unscrewing the peanut butter top, I saw a little poof. And I didn't know what I was seeing. And so I thought, well, I didn't know what I thought. I'm like, whatever it was, it poofed out of the peanut butter lid when I was unscrewing it. And it left a white, like I thought powdered sugar had fallen out of the lid. Like I thought somebody had powdered sugar with peanut butter and just made such a mess and then put it back with powdered sugar in the lid of the peanut butter. Trust me, it probably has happened here. And oh, so you kept none of what I actually needed. Oh, thanks for picking back up the thing I just threw down. Oh, good, I did it again. Could you not throw right where I'm looking? I need the gas cans. It's the whole point of this. And so I step back, and I see, like, what looks like white powder fall on the ground. And I'm like, did you see that? What was that? And so I brush it off my shirt, and it's just white powder, whatever it was. And I'm looking, and I'm like, My sister's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I just something poofed out of the. It's like a little cloud of smoke came out of the peanut butter lid when I unscrewed it, and I'm trying to. I think somebody got powdered sugar all over it, and it just fell all over the place. And I'm looking at the floor. I wasn't looking at the countertop. My plate, my pancakes, the countertop was just covered in little tiny ants that were in the lid of the peanut butter jar and just went poof when I opened it everywhere. It was bizarre. I've never seen anything like that before. It's also pretty gross. So I had to throw my food away, start my plate over. Luckily, I didn't get into any real food, just made a ant mess everywhere. I hate them things. That is a really large city. Wow. Don't come across those too often. I actually played D&D with the gaming group last night. I'll tell you what. I had a project on there. I spent probably 12 hours at least carrying buckets of water to fill up this pool that I dug. I don't think I will ever do a water-based project again in 7 Days to Die until they get a different fluid system because that's horrible. It is horrible to deal with the water in this game. And like I'm hoping they bring in an actual fluid system with pumps and stuff because I mean they got electricity now, so why not pumps? I definitely don't ever want to try to fill up anything of any size ever again. Ooh, that requires me to carry buckets of water. Luckily, our chosen base area is next to, not right next to, but oh, dude, you scared me. Pretty close to a lake, and so I had plenty of water to go get. I initially attempted because we built our base on a. Okay, so this is what happened. We have our base, and you know, I like to build up high so things can't get me. And so when we got to, oh, I should totally put down a sleeping bag so I don't, you know, keel over dead here. And so I like the I like to make sure I'm good and safe. And so when we got to town, I started looking around for a base, and I wound up putting a base on a water tower. I thought this would be pretty easy. I can build around this water tower. And then for whatever reason, one of the other guys also joined me in my water tower. I'm not really a fan of sharing bases in this game because in my experience, well, it's annoying every time you go to use something and the other person is there because they always seem to be using whatever it is you're trying to use, and you can't share open like boxes and stuff. And so I a big one for me is one of the guys that I play with. He likes to take all your stuff and use it when he makes things. Oop. And I don't mean like two people are going out and collecting items and then you just share the communal items that you brought back together. I mean like he never goes out to get anything and he just takes everything to make his stuff. And so then every time you go to get like mechanical parts, he's never added to the pile of mechanical parts, but he takes all the mechanical parts, that kind of stuff. So I prefer a solo base. In fact, that guy does that on everything we ever play together that involves any kind of survival. There's a lot of zombies here trying to get me for some reason. Uh, whoops. Oh. Where did you come from? Oh, you must have come up the ladder. and he's not even playing with us this time. But I was just thinking about the time that he did play 7 Days to Die with us, and he showed up like the session after we started, and immediately claimed a spot in the base that I was using, and started using all the stuff. And so I usually like to go ahead and uh, make my own base. But for whatever reason, I'm sharing a base this time. And so we build around this thing, and then I decided I was going to. Okay. We have surrounded our base in. Uh-oh. Well, I heard a noise that sounded like somebody was hitting me. Oh, ooh, the plane, the plane. I need the plane. It says you dropped it. What'd you do? Drop it on top of the... Oh, it's over there. Okay. Dang it, zombies. I need to finish looting this place. You guys are... Whoa, I missed. And so, I jumped out of our base. Now, our base is on top of the water tower. So I hurt myself. And I'm like, well, this is stupid. I'm going to put down some water so I can jump into water from our balcony. And that way I don't have to worry about trying to climb up and down the ladder, because the other guy is always climbing up and down the ladder, and he's kind of in my way. And so that was my thought process, was I want space. That's what I thought. And so okay, and then this was the other thing I wanted to do here. Give me a little room. All right. I just want to grab the gas out of here. That's my whole plan. Whoops, pushed the wrong button. And so I'm like, you know what? Stop pushing the escape key, man. It doesn't help you. So I thought, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'm going to dig a hole and pour some water in it, and then that way I can jump in the water. And so I dug a little hole, and I filled it with water, and it was just a little hole, but I didn't know how this game works. I don't jump into water. And in Minecraft, which is the only game I play, well, no, I play lots of games like this, but it's the main game I play that's similar to this. And so Minecraft, you put down a bucket of water, you can jump into it. So I'm like, well, maybe they did the same thing. So I jumped. Nope. Hurt even worse. And so I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to dig a big hole, and I'm going to put water in it. And so I dug the hole, and I'm like, you know, we're on top of a water tower, and we're not using the water in the water tower for anything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build a trough and carry this water away into my pool. And so I built the trough, I poke a hole, water comes pouring out, goes everywhere, I plug it back up. I'm like, all right, obviously my trench is not big enough. So I make a deeper trench, and I poke a hole. The water only goes about 2 blocks when it comes out of there. 2 blocks. I'm like, well, this isn't going to work. And so I tried running layers. And so I started up way high, and then I'd go a couple blocks, and then I'd come down, and then a block, and then I'd come down a block. But whatever I did, I could not get the water to flow where I needed it to flow. So I gave up, and I started carrying it by hand. My pool is 12 blocks on a side, and it's 5 blocks deep. Yeah. So I carried water. and then we ended for the day. And I almost had the bottom covered in a 3-inch layer of water. However deep you'd say it is when you dump out a bucket of water in this game. So, the next session, I carried water. And I carried water, and I carried water. And then I noticed that as I was dumping out water, you can't dump water on water. You have to dump water against a block. And water doesn't count. And the water also doesn't flow downward very well, and so you might get a couple of spots where it flows downward, but it was not filling up the middle of the pool. And so I had water 5 blocks high, about 2 to 3 blocks out, maybe a little farther than that. But then the water in the middle was only ankle deep. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So I eventually... Ooh, what happened here? Why is there a big cave in the middle of the road? That's weird. It looks like... Looks like a plane crashed, only now all the plane parts are missing. I almost just used that. I think I am just going to straight up use that. I should drink this one down here. I apparently need some food again. I have meat on me, though. I could cook up something. I just want to duck in here real quick and see if there's some niter. There is. And so I carried water the entire session, and then the next time we played, I carried water the entire session. I eventually had to use. I tried rebar. Water does not flow through rebar well, unless you're trying to use that rebar to stop water. Then it comes right through it. But if you need the water to flow through the rebar, then it doesn't do it. Oh no, that wasn't my problem. My problem was when the rebar falls into the pool, it creates air blocks. That was my problem. And you don't so much get that with wood frames if you accidentally drop some. And so I started using... There's a little pool of water at the bottom of this. So I started using wood frames, and I built up, and then I could dump water against the wood frames, and then eventually, I felt I was making headway, and then zombies got in the pool. Zombies also create air blocks in water when they die, and so it ruined everything I had done all along one side of the pool, and so I had to redo that, and so I finally built up a big wall around the pool. And so this last session, I finally finished dumping thousands of buckets of water. I don't know if it was thousands, but I'll bet it was at least 1,000. Because I had over 10 buckets, and I don't know how many trips I made back and forth for hours and hours, multiple weeks in a row. And so I finally did get it filled in. I built a concrete wall around it. I built electric fence around it. I put spikes around it. I gotta keep those stupid zombies out of my pool. I don't mind them being at the pool or anything, because I mean they're zombies, and we play. The guy I play with, he likes it on an easier setting than I normally play with. He's afraid to even come out at night, and I just walk around and kill things. I don't know. It's. I wish the difficulty was a little higher, but yeah. So I got a pool. One of the cool things that I liked with the pool, you know what? That says Hungry Harry's. No, it says Hurry Harry's. Oh, I thought it was Hungry. Well, Hurry Harry's still looks like a restaurant. And one of the cool things is the painting in this game. And so I made a really nice looking pool, I feel. I painted all the sides of the pool light blue. And then the very top I did a ring of white tiles. And then I painted the ladder, because one of the nice things in this game, with water is that it actually flows around ladders, which is nice. Because you don't get that in Minecraft. And I painted that all up nice, and then I painted I actually built out a deck area, and so I painted that all with some nice red-brown color, I don't know what you call a color, fence, and so it looks like nice decking. And there we go. And so it turned out really nice, and now I'm running lights across the tops of the walls. But I'd much rather do the lights than pour any more water into that thing, for sure. That was something else to carry all that water. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we played last night, which is unusual. The guy was Mr. Fretwell, who runs our gaming group, I guess. He celebrating his 1,000th stream a day, and so he wanted to do another special night last night, and so we played some 7 Days to Die. Oh, this is another one right here. I'm going to stop in here too. See if we can't get some more food. Give me that. Great, I just threw away my bandage, and now I'm bleeding out. I think this will stop it, right? Yes, okay. And then tonight is our normal gaming night. We're going to do some D&D, finally. I've been waiting a week or 2 weeks. We only play every 2 weeks, so... but we ended another cliffhanger. I hate ending in them cliffhangers. As I have talked about the last few weeks, we have gotten a bit over our heads with this last group we attacked. Well, right, I've talked about it. Had we worked together as a team, I feel we could have easily won. But we have some issues with people not wanting to attack, and we have issues with people who actually ran away from the fight while it was still going on, and so it makes it difficult to win when your team is not backing you. And so we chased those people down into an underground city that's been destroyed, and they are in a tower sacrificing people to resurrect an evil god or something along those lines. I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, you know, it sounds really cool, but it doesn't seem as epic when you're doing it. Hey, piggy, piggy, I do have a stack for meat. Sorry that I missed your head. Nope, no, cowboy. Just want to make sure I got everything. But yeah, so it goes like this. So a woman married the king and then killed him to seize control of his kingdom. She then brought in her lover and her fellow evil arts practitioner to resurrect or release an evil god into the world. by sacrificing a majority of the population of the city. We arrived and were asked by the rebels to help them overthrow the evil queen, which basically led to two of us dead. We came back from that though, because it's a game. And but we also hurt one of them bad enough to make them all flee together. And we have tracked them to an underground city. They're in a tower, preparing the sacrifices to finish their ritual to bring back this evil god. And we have got the surprise on them. And so we are starting our episode tonight with a surprise round, I believe. I know they told me to go ahead and drink my haste potion, because we would be starting combat immediately, and I could drink my haste potion, the DM said, to prepare for the fight, because we were immediately entering combat. Because the haste potion only lasts for a minute, and I'm not going to waste it by drinking it outside of combat. And so I'm all hasted up and ready to go. I think we just got to roll initiative and then get our attack round, and maybe take down one of these people before things get too crazy. Although last week during I wouldn't call it an argument, but a bandying of words amongst gaming acquaintances, the wizard, who I was saying was a coward and ran away during our battle, threatened to banish anyone I attacked tonight, which means I can't attack them, which I don't think he would actually do, because it just hurts the party, although he did run away and leave us to die, so who knows? Who knows? If I were not the person I am, I would probably attack him. But I'm not that kind of person, because that goes against your party, and I wouldn't do that. I want to, but I wouldn't. I really want to, though. I grow weary of him saying he's the most powerful, most important person on our team, and that we don't understand how much more powerful he is than us, while he leaves a mediocre spell and runs away during battle. And I call it a mediocre spell because his one spell does less damage than I do on any given turn, even without haste. But he calls it a big spell. And it's a big yawn, because it does like 30-something damage, which is like one attack by me sometimes. And I get 2 to 3 attacks regularly, sometimes 4 attacks regularly. Haste Potion adds a 5th attack. So I can get up to 5 attacks in a turn that all do almost the same as his one spell each round, or each attack. So I do 200 damage to his 30-something. But it's a big spell. It's a big spell. And I'm not saying that, the amount of damage you do matters. The fact that he's doing damage is a plus, but the fact that he could have been doing damage to all the guys that were attacking us, instead of focusing on a single person and running away, he could have been dumping that same amount of damage on 11 people, not one. So he could have been doing 400 or more damage each turn. Instead, he decided to go for 40-ish damage on one person each turn, and he thinks that's okay. And I'm trying to disabuse him of the notion that doing less damage to, or doing damage to one person is better than doing damage to all the people that he could be damaging. because seriously, my party, while I was dead, fought for 3 hours, 3 real-life hours, and couldn't kill a single thing while I was dead. So, hopefully tonight, I had a huge discussion with our DM about how our ranger, who's new to the game, may not understand what's best for his character, and it would be nice if the DM could talk to him about his spell selection a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with his spells, and that's fine if that's the direction he wants to go, but the guy was saying he wished he could do more damage, and I think there's a couple of things he could do with his character without changing more than like one spell to even things out a little bit. And so hopefully they do that tonight. But I was like, dude, look, I don't want to tell him how to play his character. I'm just suggesting he hates one of the spells he's got. He's tried to use it multiple times. It's failed every time. And I'm just suggesting that there are some other spells that he could add to his spells that he might like better. That would be. There's a lot of grocery stores in this place. I need a road going north, though. I can't believe I still have not hit the northern border. I am starting to doubt my belief that this map is in a circle. I thought it was in a circle. I thought it was in a circle. Okay, where am I at? I'm at... Oh, I guess I'm not quite there. I'm only at 6,500, and I think it's got to be at 10,000, right? Yeah. So I need 10,000 north. So, wow, it's a long ways. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and we'll pick this back up next time. So click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I'll talk to you later.